All right, let's get going. So what we are going to be talking about today is ratios, unit rates, and proportions. Okay, those are going to be the three main things that we are talking about. All right, first thing, we have ratios. We did an activity in class where ratio is just comparing two numbers. Do you remember those fruit snacks? Like oranges to grapes? That's comparing two numbers with units. The units is very important. We need to have the units in order to be happy mathers, okay? That's ratios. Unit rates. What unit rates are is taking that ratio and putting it over one. Example we're going to take a look at is going to be if I travel 50 miles in 2 hours. Okay? I need to travel 50 miles in 2 hours to find toilet paper because the world we're living in. All right. I have 50 miles for every 2 hours. I need to set up an equal ratio, like equal fractions, and I need to simplify this, okay? We are not going to simplify it by making it into a mixed number. No, that's not what we want here. This is the one time in math where it's okay to leave fractions as improper. Cool. So, I need to get this 2 hours, and I need to make it into 1 hour. How do I get to, what number do I divide 2 by to get 1? Simple answer, 2. Your bottom number, you are always going to divide itself by what's over here. Okay, so 2 divided by 2 gives me 1. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 50 divided by 2 gives me 25 miles. So I'm traveling 25 miles in 1 hour to find the toilet paper. So that's something that we use every day. If I eat 14 tubs of ice cream in 7 days. All right? Because that is what I've been living off of during this lockdown. Ice cream. I've eaten 14 tubs of ice cream in 7 days. I want to figure out how many tubs of ice cream I eat in 1 day. So I'm going to set up my two ratios. Remember, comparing numbers, and I'm going to make it into a unit rate. How do I do that? I take my bottom number, divide it by itself, and make that 1, okay? Now, what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So, this is a great angle. I hope you guys are enjoying my double chin. I need to take 14 and divide that by 7, and I'm going to get 2. I'm going to get, did I write the 2? That's just an ugly 2. I'm going to have 2 tubs of ice cream in 1 day, all right? So that's ratios and that's unit rates. I'm going to give you guys a few examples and you guys can go ahead and solve those. So if I have 18 birds for every 3 cats, all right? If I have 18 birds for 3 cats, I'm not a crazy cat lady yet, but we're getting there. If I have 3 cats and there are 18 birds outside, I want to know how many birds can go to each cat that they can bring me in as sacrifices. Okay? So, go ahead, take a second to solve this. I'm going to put on some Wii music, and then we'll be right back. You guys done yet? No? Okay. That's enough time. Okay. 18 birds for every 3 cats. What I need to do is I need to first set up my ratio. Preferably, it's on the same line as this, but I'm writing it upside down. Margin of error. It happens. What I need to do, I need to take this bottom number and divide it by itself. So 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. So I have 1 cat left over, all right? Next, what I need to do is I need to take 18 and divide that by 3. All right, so 18 divided by 3 gives me what, everybody? Thank you. It gives me 6. Did I write that? Yes, I did. 6 birds for every 1 cat. And that is how I make a unit rate. Okay? You good with that? Guys, I know that I wrote it upside down or backwards. Don't judge me. Mistakes happen. And also, we didn't reenact The Lion King. Peach was being very judgmental. Sorry. Welcome back to the show where nothing makes any sense except for some math. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that great rendition of The Lion King starring my overweight cat and myself. It's only fitting that I was Scar. Okay, we are talking about proportions. What proportions are? I think it's going to be easier for me to just give you an example. Okay, so a proportion is very much just like comparing two ratios, okay? So this is a proportion. What it is comparing two ratios, but one of my numbers is unknown. That's why I have a variable here. You guys can use any variable you want. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use x. That is the standard variable that we use in math, and I'm not feeling too creative right now. All right, so first thing I need to do is I need to find out what the variable equals. So how do I do that? It's very simple. It is just like our butterfly method. All right? So the ones that are circled together, my 25 and my x, my 2 and my 100, those are what I'm going to be multiplying together, and they're going to equal the same thing. So 2 times 100 is going to be equal to 25 times x. All right, so I'm just taking the ones that I have circled and I'm writing them together, and I'm going to multiply them out. 2 times 100 gives me 200. All right, and 25 times x gives me 25x. Beautiful. I still don't know what x is. So this is just like my one-step equations. What I need to do to get x by itself is divide 25 on both sides. All right, and 200 divided by 25 is going to give me an answer of x equals 8. Okay, those are simple proportions. What we're trying to do with proportions is we are trying to set up two equivalent ratios. All right, and equivalent means that they are factors of one another. 25 is a factor of 100 and 2 is a factor of 8. So 5 times 4, 25 times 4 gives me 100, and 2 times 4 gives me 8. That's how we're going to set this up, okay? 32, I don't know, leaves. Sorry, I'm outside and I'm looking at trees. I have 32 leaves for every 16 birds. I have 32 leaves for every 16 birds, all right? That's going to be my first ratio. And I am going to compare that to 2 leaves for how many birds? All right? So I'm setting up my 2 ratios, okay? I need to figure out what this x is going to be, okay? So how do I do that? I go ahead and I circle on my diagonal my 2 and my 16, my x, and my 32, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that up as an equation. So 16 times 2 is going to be equal to 32 times x, okay? So that is what I'm looking at. 16 times 2 gives me 32. 32 is equal to 32x. 32 divided by 32 gives me an answer of x equals 1. Beautiful. That is how we do proportions. All right? Another type of proportion that we are going to have is something called a percent change, okay? Percent changes are very simpler. very simple. Oh my goodness. It's the same idea. And I know IXL asked you a few questions, so I'm going to do a few examples here. And then we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, which is conversions, which is something everyone's been struggling with. Percent change. So one of the questions was, whenever a farmer first got a pig, okay, it weighed 32 pounds. All right, that pig weighed 32 pounds and it now weighs 36 pounds. All right, I want to know the percent change. Okay, I want to know the percent change. I want to know the percentage of how much this pig has gained weight. All right, so general rule of thumb, the first number given to you, this 32, all right, is going to be your 100%, all right? General rule of thumb, the first number given to you is going to be your 100%. What we don't know is how much it has increased by, okay? So that's going to be our x. How do we do it? We set it up like we've been doing all other proportions. I'm going to take 32. Sorry, let me just, I didn't get this way. I'll be back in a second. All right, I am looking at 32x equals 36 times 100. I'm going to go ahead and multiply those out. 1,600, all right, equals 32x. I have 3,600 equals 32x, all right? That is where I'm at right now. So I started with my proportion, all right, of making 32 pounds my 100% and setting that equal to 36 pounds. And I want to know how much the pig's weight has increased in percents. This is called a percent change. What I did is I set up my equation. 32x is equal to 36 times 100 using my cross multiplying method, okay? And then what I did is I set up my equation. So I'm taking a look at my equation. What I need to do to get x by itself is I need to divide both sides by 32. All right? So dividing both sides by 32. X equals 102.5. All right? And when I'm trying, and because this is a percent, my units is going to be the percent symbol, okay? So there has been, the pig is now 112.5% of its original weight, okay? I need to figure out the percent change. So my original was 100. I'm now at 112.5. There has been an increase of 12.5%. All right, that's my final answer. There has been an increase of 12.5%. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put up another example. We're going to take a look at a decrease one, all right? So let's say that I have 134 miles on my car. And I drove around and I now only have 127 miles on my car, okay? I want to know the percent decrease. How much, percentage-wise, how much is left in my tank? I'm going to take 134. I'm going to make that my 100% because my first number is going to be my 100%. I don't know the percent that's in here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and set it up like this. Next, I set up my equation by cross multiplying. I have 134x equals 12,700, okay? Next, I'm going to use a calculator for this. Honestly, you guys can use a calculator and I won't know and it'll totally be okay. Don't judge me. Okay. I am going to take 134 and divide that on both sides. And I'm going to get, and I got x equals 94.7%. Okay? That is what I'm taking a look at. My x equals 94.7%. But I need to figure out the percent change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 100 minus 94.7, and that is going to give me my final answer. My final change has been a decrease of 5.3%. And I'm just going to represent it right here, negative 5.3%. Okay? And that is percent change. So, conversions. What that is whenever we have a ratio with 2 units that we can put into 1. So if I'm comparing 18 inches to 3 feet. Okay? I'm looking at 18 inches and I'm comparing that to 3 feet. The first thing I need to do is I need to ask myself, which unit is smaller, inches or feet? Thank you. The correct answer is inches. So I have 18 inches up here. Perfect. My 18 inches is going to stay the same. 18 inches. All right. I don't need to worry about that. But I have 3 feet down here. How do I take feet and make that into inches? Well, my question to you is, how many inches are in 1 foot? There are 12 inches. So, there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So, what I need to do is, because I'm going smaller, I'm going to multiply 3 times 12 to get my inches. All right, and 3 times 12 is 36. Now, does that make sense? Let's talk about this real quick. I have 3 feet. Each foot is 12 inches. So, 12 plus 12 plus 12 gives me 36 inches. So that makes sense. I'm taking my bottom and I am multiplying it by a factor of 12, okay, to get 36 inches. All right. Next, I'm taking a look at 18 inches over 36 inches. My next step, what I need to do, I need to simplify because these are in the same unit. We're going to take a look at these as fractions. These are in the same unit, so we need to simplify. When I simplify, I'm going to get 1 over 2 inches, okay? And that is how we set up conversions, okay? I'm going to do a few more examples, and then we'll do a few, and then move from there. Sound good? All right. 1 yard to 1 foot. Okay, 1 yard to 1 foot. I need to ask myself, first and always, which one is smaller, the yards or feet? The correct answer is feet. If you thought it was yards, you're wrong, okay? So, I have 1 foot. That's staying the same, so I'm just going to carry that over and write it as 1 foot. All right, I have yards that I need to convert to feet. So, 1 yard equals 3 feet. I gave you guys a table a few days ago. I gave you a few tables, all right? And it tells me that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So, to get it to feet, what I need to do is I need to multiply my top by a factor of 3, because that's going to give me feet, okay? So, 1 times 3 gives me an answer of 3. So, I have 3 feet over 1 foot. How do I simplify this? It's already simplified. It's in a unit rate. And we were told at the beginning that we can keep unit rates. All right? So that is how we set it up. I'm going to post this example we are going to take a look at is we are comparing 8 ounces to 2 pounds. All right, I have 8 ounces to 2 pounds. I need to figure out how I solve that. What I need to do, I first ask myself, forever and always I ask myself which one is the smaller one, and we should always be saying ounces. Yes, perfect, beautiful, ounces. So 8 ounces is already in ounces. So it's going to stay the same. All right, I need to take 2 pounds and I need to convert that to ounces. There are 16 ounces in every pound. So I need to multiply this by a factor of 16. And 2 times 16 gives me what? 32 ounces, all right? I'm going to write that a little bit neater. So I have 8 ounces over 32 ounces. What I need to do is, because they're in the same units, I need to simplify. So when I simplify, I'm going to get 1 ounce over 4 ounces. Okay? And that is conversion. I'm going to be posting a few examples along with the chart, so we can go ahead, take a look at this, because I want to make... Oh, sorry, I thought it was done recording, because I want to make sure you guys understand this. And Friday, come prepared with questions that you may have. All right, and I will walk through more examples as well, but I want to make sure everyone's good on this before we move on to our next topic. Sound good? All right, I will see you guys Friday. Come prepared with questions, and we'll knock this out of the park. All right? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed my editing. I really appreciate the positive feedback that I've gotten so far on my last video, but there's still room to grow, and we're gonna get there. Okay? I miss you guys so much. Bye.